Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
Another club, plane, next place.
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
I actually did it myself. Yeah. Nice.
I mean, let me ask the audience.
Hi, colon C X D H A I. Hi.
So, it's us back again for episode 10.
Back again.
I can't believe it's been 10 episodes.
I can.
10 episodes and like 3 months of doing this so far.
That's actually when you frame it like that, that's pretty crazy.
That's
That is
wild.
pretty crazy. Time flies when you're having
fun.
Hee hee.
So,
Yeah.
we're back in the Yapyard once again, of course.
Back in the stew.
Thanks for
Back in
joining
the
us.
beef stew. Yeah.
back in the stew. Yes.
Back in the textured vegetable protein stew because I'm
Vegetable textured protein stew.
because I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat beef.
Okay, but like vegetable textured?
Textured vegetable protein. It's like
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm understanding. I just thought textured was like a part of the stew description,
it's
not the
textured stew. It's not like blended. Yum.
So,
Yum yum.
anyway, usually I'll let you introduce the topics that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, today's gonna be kind of a free for all kind of vibe.
I don't even have my compy here. So
Yeah, we have my little computer.
It's also ironic because I believe it was last episode 9, that I was clowning you for never having anything to say.
And
but
like clowning is a strong word, but it was very much like a subtle like, hey, do you ever put together any notes? I think that was verbatim what you said. And I was like, no, not really.
Yeah, and so then here I am this week. No notes, just vibes. So
And that's okay. I think very much yes, I just like to fly by the seat of my pants.
And I respect that.
And
it's why we work.
And I think when I was conceiving of this podcast, that was just kind of the vibe I wanted to explore, because I have a lot of thoughts running around in my brain normally. And when we talk, just the two of us, it's very much that kind of vibe. So I was like, how do we translate that into video audio format?
Exactly.
And so and that's not to say I do appreciate structure in the sense of having notes is nice because it can help guide you. And my God knows my fucking fucked up brain can sometimes just like where are you going with this point?
Yes.
Like, let's reel it in, sister.
Yes.
But all that's to say, I do enjoy a good just like
Yap
think
sesh.
piece.
Yeah.
Yap piece, exactly.
And I'm taking a note out of your playbook today. 'Cause
Yes.
I don't have any topic to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have thoughts on the topic you will talk about.
Yeah.
But even as I say that, I feel like there was like one thing I want to talk about, but I'll hopefully remember it.
So today's topics, we will be talking about our local Winco got rid of the hand baskets, and it's not just the local Winco. We'll get into it, but the local Winco got rid of the hand baskets that you take when you go grocery shopping. There's like the little baskets that you can just like carry around with you.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of them.
Despicable.
So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about on the flip side of that. I have in my notes here, 3 a.m. Winco is a comforting liminal space. So
Which
I
is
want to.
so true.
I just want to talk. I want to hit both ends of the spectrum in the sense that I don't want to get. Not too much on Winco in the sense of I do still respect it as a place and as a location that has brought me peace, especially in my late night depressed sessions of just like driving around. Like, where am I going to go?
Is it 24 hours again?
It is. It is.
Classic.
So we're going to talk about Winco. We're also going to talk about Pokemon card scalpers to the best of my ability because it's something I care a lot about. But in my research, it's hard to. I have a lot of thoughts about it, but I want it to be as like thorough and scientific with my research as possible. And it was hard to find like straight up like data regarding scalping, because scalping's like a
Interesting. Yeah.
like I'm sure it exists out there, but it was hard for me to find for some reason. So that's what I'm going to talk about, and we're also going to talk about, we have our media spotlights and all of that kind of stuff. So we're also going to talk about what we did during our last couple weeks away from you guys. But that's pretty much it. So yeah.
So weekly debrief.
Yeah.
Weekly debrief. I had something that I was biting my tongue in the car because this
Tea.
is what I talking about what happened at work today.
Okay.
So this is well, actually, do I want to do this? Yeah. No, I'll do it in weekly debrief in this, but it's also just like a topic of conversation that maybe we can circle back to if we need more to talk about. The place that I work, I'm a nanny. 2 cats. They have 2 cats. Very different personalities. Maui, orange cat, speaks for itself. He is like very outgoing, very hoodie, a gray cat. And these are like biological brothers. They much more reserved, much more cat-like. Like he's just like, he'll keep to himself, but he's like interested in pets on his time.
Yeah.
So that's just a little context for both of these cats got outside today. These are indoor cats. Both of them got outside.
They escaped?
Yes. And it's not like, this happens semi-often where it's like not the end of the world if it happens, but like they're cats.
Yeah.
They're meant to be inside.
They are, and I don't want to hear another fucking word. If you're an outdoor cat,
That's what this is what I'm saying. It's like
No,
this
they
could
aren't.
go into a bigger conversation
which we might get into,
because
but I'll let you finish.
this leads to we learn why cats belong inside, because these cats are out for like they come out and I immediately start looking for them, immediately start trying to wrangle them in, but I'm toddling a 3-year-old with me, so I have to go at a pace of like so
Yeah.
but these cats are outside for like maybe 5 minutes. I get the orange one in, he shake the food can, he runs inside, he's good.
It was that easy?
Yeah. Well, so like that's the thing is sometimes there'll be a little ornery. It's not like he wanted to get caught because like I was like shaking it and he's like, oh, food, and then
Sure.
and then got him
Sure,
inside.
sure,
So it's not
sure,
like he
sure,
just
sure.
walked inside, but he was like, oh, food, all right, and then
Yeah,
was like, nah.
Yeah.
Hoodie didn't give an F about the food. I'm like shaking, didn't give an F.
Are they the same age?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm tracking him down. So a little bit more context of like where the house is like in the forest. Like this is like it's surrounded by forest. And their driveway's pretty long, and we're like, so they're up on a little bit of a hill. So like if they're in the scope of things, that's fine. But then if they like start to walk down, that's like a road that like other cars go on and stuff. So I'm just like herding, like I'm doing my best to just like make sure at least Hoodie's herded up towards the house. Get that. Lose a visual of him for like a few minutes, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's where I'm just like kind of worried because like I don't have a visual. I go all the way down to the street, he's not out there, so I go back up looking around the house. I find him under the deck with a dead chipmunk in his mouth.
No.
Dead chipmunk.
Oh my god.
And do you want to know the worst part?
It was rabid.
No, that would have been a much worse part.
But you can only fucking assume, and this is why I say keep your goddamn cats inside.
Literally.
Anyway.
But the worst part is that we had just filled the squirrel feeder right before they had escaped outside. So that chipmunk had literally like just shown up and been like, oh, thanks everybody. Oh, I'm dead now.
So its family thought it was lured, probably.
Yep.
This is the beginning of like a Disney Pixar movie.
Is
I
it?
think.
Is it?
Or like a dark
Bambi 2? I don't know. Like
Bambi 2 but squirrels.
So Bambi 2 but squirrels. It kind of rolls off the tongue. That's a good title for a movie.
Yeah, that's the working title.
But yeah, so that was me. That was my day this morning. That was today. So lesson to learn: keep your fucking cats inside.
It's like it
was like it was cause and effect. It's like the fact that people delude themselves into being able to do that because like nothing has happened to my cat, let alone my boyfriend's telling me he has coworkers that are like have indoor outdoor cats
No.
who have had cats die and have had cats like
Exactly.
literally in front of them like be carted off by animals. It's like, and then they bought a new cat and it's another indoor outdoor cat. Is like,
Bombastic
then I have
side-eye.
zero empathy for you. Like, it's one thing to just be like ignorant
Yeah.
to the point of like, oh, I've never had anything bad happen to my indoor outdoor cat or in my outdoor cat. That's ignorance and you're still silly. But like, there's one thing. I have no empathy and no respect for people that have had tragedies happen to their cats and they're still just like, well, cats should be outside. He likes it out there.
Yeah.
Like,
I
they're a
feel-
fucking animal.
I
like,
feel bad for the cat because that cat wasn't taken care of correctly.
Exactly. I have no empathy for the human. I feel horrible for the cat. It's
Yeah.
like, that's all. So
The amount of times, like, they're obviously such like a stray cat problem, and a lot of that comes from people who just like leave their cats outside, forget about their cats who escape and then mate with other indoor outdoor cats or other stray
Yeah.
cats. And all of this can just be easily prevented if you just keep your cat inside.
keep your cat inside or don't get a cat.
Or just
Like,
don't get a cat. It's so much better and so much healthier for your cat if you just keep them indoors. They might not like it. I have a cat, Jasper, and before I moved into my apartment in town, we lived out similar situation, just like in the middle of the fucking forest.
Mhm.
And he was like an indoor outdoor cat, but I had no control over that because before I moved back home, he was being taken care of by my family, and my family just like really didn't give a rat's ass about him in that sense of just like, he's just gonna do what he does. He's an animal. He's a cat. And I'm like, okay, great. So now that I'm back home, now I have to pick up your pieces. When I got home, like a few years ago when I moved back home, his hair was like matted. Like he just like wasn't being taken care of. And so my point then getting to, it's so much harder if your cat is an outdoor/indoor outdoor cat to make them strictly indoor cat, which is just, you have to bite the bullet and do it. I did. It took a long time. But when I say it took a long time, this cat would escape. He still sometimes thinks about getting out, but I have to like really squash that drive for him because there's just so many diseases, and like cats can get, I think it's like some like feline leukemia or something
my
that like
gosh.
yeah just like random shit and like
Yeah.
ticks and fleas and
Yeah.
like all that.
There's like this whole level of like very surface level obvious things of obvious reasons why not to,
Yeah.
but it's just the tip of the iceberg of like there's so many reasons not to.
And I
Like,
hate the argument of like I was just saying, like when my parents were taking care of Jasper, of like, they're just an animal. Like they were meant to be outside. It's like, no, do you know what domesticated means? Do you know what domesticated long-haired cat means?
Yeah.
They were pretty much bred to be with humans. And where do humans live? They spend their time inside.
Exactly.
That's-
Exactly.
So, yeah, because when Jasper was living out there, he was like attacked by like a wild animal.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I had to like, take him to the vet, blah 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 blah. He's thankfully he survived and he's fine. But things could have gone very differently.
But to run that risk is definitely showing your hand of how much you would care if your pet died. Where it's like, he wants to be outside, so I'm willing to risk him dying and to open the
Exactly.
door and let him outside. It's like,
Exactly.
that's what you're saying with your actions.
Exactly. And
So-
like that's when I was living out there and I tried so hard to keep him inside. But my parents just like would not listen to me and
That's
like
so
just pretty
infuriating.
much would just like let him out. So yeah, so now that I live on my own, I made it a point to keep him inside no
Yeah,
matter like, and
Break
that's
that spirit.
and all of that is to say again, just keep your cats inside.
Yes.
Just do it.
Yes.
Just do it. It's like really not that hard.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's my weekly debrief
Anyway.
paired with a PSA because
Yeah.
like you just can't do that, and it's like cause and effect. A plus B equals C, and it played out in less than 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
So yeah. But
So,
I mean,
yeah.
other than that, not much has happened. I've been working a bit. I've started going on more walks, which has been super
Cute,
nice, where I'm like
cute.
hoping to like, I don't think I'll ever be a runner, but like I would love to start getting to be like a jogger, where like I don't
Yeah.
have any need or necessity to like be a runner, but like
Yeah.
just for the fitness of like, okay, yeah, I need to like get out there, and it's just so nice. And yeah, have lived in my apartment for like 3 years, 2 years, I can't remember. And I'm just like, I knew of one walking path, but now I've just like found like 3 or 4 just like other walking, not like walking paths, but like good like routes
Sure.
where it's like in suburbia, like on like not super trafficked roads and like
Yeah.
stuff like that, where I'm like, I knew of one, and then like we'd taken that like a good handful of times in our
Yeah.
time here, but like then I'm like, oh, there's like options, like I
Yeah.
can just like go, and it's like super nice, just like 30-minute hour-long walks, like
Walks in an Oregon spring is
Ugh.
so there's literally nothing that
let
compares.
alone when we usually go right at the like 6 to 8 p.m. hour, like where it's like sun's going down, it's cool, so like so nice.
That's
so
like
nice.
literally just like, yeah, no, there actually is no that's like actual heaven on earth. Like,
Yes.
I'm not religious, but that is the closest thing to a religion
Yes.
that I will ever
I'm
believe
not
in.
patriotic, but
That is
that's what I
God's
love.
country.
Yeah, exactly. So
Is cool 67 degrees,
yes.
7:35
Yes,
p.m.
exactly.
Sun just slightly above the horizon.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
So nice, so
Yeah.
good. So yeah,
How
that's what I've
beautiful.
been doing that with my
How
time.
beautiful!
I
Wow.
love it.
Yeah. Well, my couple weeks have been weirdly eventful in a way that is I've been up and down. Like I'm personally fine. School has been a nightmare. What the hell is new? School is always crazy.
Womp womp.
Midterms have been crazy. All my classes are online, so like, and I was talking to you about it in the car, but it's nice to have online class because, and I feel like I'm the only person on earth, I might have talked about this before, but I am quite literally the only person on earth that can confidently say that I prefer online school in the sense that I can turn on my computer at any time of day. This is like assuming that my classes are able, like, are what's the word? Like, I don't have to like log in at a certain time and
Yeah,
like open up
yeah.
a Zoom call or blah 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 blah, which none of my classes this term are. Thank God, because I would hate that.
Yeah.
Because that defeats the purpose of why I would want to do I would want
Exactly.
to do online school. But getting back to midterms, it's been hell, but it's been a little bit nicer.
But a little bit of heaven.
It's been a little bit of, it's been like the first circle of hell, in the sense of like, is that right? Like, is the deeper you go, like the more circles you get? Like, is the 7th circle of hell like that's the worst, right?
I'm foggy. I do know that like one of the like 7, 8 or something is like for like liars and deceivers and
You were telling me
blasphemers.
you never read Dante Alighieri's Inferno.
No.
Same.
I can tell you that my source for knowing that is because I literally just watched a Cinema Sins on Liar Liar, and it had a little thing on about
Right.
the fact that he said something and it's like, actually the 7th layer of hell is for these kind of people. So but yeah,
Anyway.
so that to say, I don't know if it's like deeper, but at the same time I don't know, like maybe at that time liars were like some of the worst. But like liars seem like
Yeah, what's the culture of hell? What was the culture of hell back then?
so
Anyway, I say that to say that it was bad, but it wasn't too bad in the sense that I could have gone back and like they were all like open note, and I could like go and just look at all of the material that was given to me, and I did fine. It's just like it takes a lot of mental energy for me to do any of that kind of stuff, even though I do well. I just like do my homework and then I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done for the day. So that's number 1. Number 2, speaking of Jasper, he has to go to the vet.
oh yeah, I remember you mentioning something. What
Yeah.
happened?
Basically, he had this motherfucker. He had an anal abscess, an anal gland abscess, which I didn't know what that was. I guess cats and dogs can get them. And it's basically like they have I say your as in like humans have them. We don't. But like cats and dogs have like, I guess, anal glands. I don't know what they're for, but they can get like blockages and shit. And then those blockages can like get infected.
Oh.
So yeah, it got infected.
No
and it like
bueno.
no bueno. No bueno. At all, no bueno. And it got really infected, and then it healed on its own. And it was like kind of bothering him. So like let me back up a few steps and say like about a week and a half ago, I noticed that he was just like feeling really like lethargic and really tired, and like I was like, okay, like I'm gonna keep my eye on this one because I know my cat, and I know that something is either this is gonna be, you know, sometimes he's just like he's getting older too, so like I could attribute that to just like maybe age. So let me just.
But you're an astute pet owner to like keep your eye out for.
So to
this
make
is
sure,
a normal vibe.
Because usually he's like really, you know, he's really talkative. He really likes to play. He really likes to like he runs all the time, from like room to room. He'll just like always try to get my attention, and just none of that was happening. So I was like, okay, dot question mark. So, about a week ago, I started noticing that he was like, anytime I would try to pick him up, it would like be painful for him. And so then I was like, okay, like something's definitely wrong here. And so
he's pregnant.
Oh my God, Jasper's a girl this whole time. I mean, it's a unisex name, so like,
true.
Literally, oh my God, lied to me. We'll bleep that. We'll bleep that. Also, I think she lied about his age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's like actually 11.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because when I was texting, I like literally, because I went back in the text messages. When
the
I
receipts.
first, literally, I like checked the receipts. Got him in 2018. Checked the messages. She was like, yeah, he's about 2 years old. And I was like, okay, didn't think much of it. And I checked the like microchip website for when it was like, it gives you a date. Just gives you a date. It doesn't say like, doesn't explicitly say like date implanted.
Yeah.
It just says like date registered or something like that. But it says 2014. So, but I'm like, maybe it's like that's when the chip was I'm confused.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that is a big question mark though.
Yeah,
of
so
like what the date, what 2014 was.
Yeah, you could either be like 8 years old or you could be like 11 years old. So like I am genuinely like, that's a pretty wide margin of error there. Anyway, and I guess that's not entirely not irrelevant, because that was kind of playing in my mind as I was like assessing whether or not like this was age related or whether it was like just a freak thing, because I was like,
because 11 is like
up
it's there
like,
for a cat.
It's still like
not like decrepit old cat, but just like up
just
there.
Like, at that point you might start to begin showing signs of like aging, disease, whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna really, really tuck that way in the back of my mind. And it turns out it just wasn't any of that, thank God.
Yeah.
And it was just something freak, and just, you know, took him to the vet. But what was kind of weird is that his infection, like, I guess, cleared on its own on, like, Thursday. Tried making the appointment for Friday. They were completely booked out. They're closed the weekend. So I couldn't get him in until Monday. So he had, like, 3 days of just, like, having an infection, to which it didn't seem like it was really bothering him.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel compelled to like go to the animal hospital, because he was eating. He was like still using the litter box.
Yeah.
He was still kind of like, he was relatively getting back to his old normal playful self. So I was like, okay, like, I feel like
it wasn't continuing to decline.
No, because if it was, and I definitely would have made the decision just like, okay, you're going to the hospital right now. But by the time I took him in on Monday, the vet was like, yeah, he had the infection and it like healed, but it healed really poorly. So we're just going to give him an antibiotic and some like anti-inflammatory pills. And that's pretty much that. And he has to wear a cone basically until like the scab falls off, just so he doesn't look at it. And he's like pretty much 100% back to normal. back to his like really annoying ass self, and I missed it so much because he would just like he'd always like run and like anytime I like walk from the kitchen to my room, he'd always just like run and like meow at me because he like just wants to hang out and just like play
Yeah.
and stuff, and he just wasn't doing that. So no, now that he's
Mm.
doing that again, I'm just like, you're my buddy.
Yeah.
My buddy's here to play. So yeah, he's good. I just have to wait a few more days to get the collar off of him to where he'll be like actually
Nice.
100%. So yeah, and then other than that, just been like I've been going to the gym a lot more,
Ooh.
which has been nice.
Saucy.
Not super crazy.
Summer
but-
bod.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, that's my past couple weeks.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
I guess it's still kind of the past week, but today is Spencer's birthday. As of recording, happy birthday, Spencer.
And we're going to a themed party, which is why I'm wearing this. I usually probably wouldn't just like wear. Not that I wouldn't. It just takes a
It's a
certain
cute
moment.
outfit.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just a little out there.
Yeah, she's throwing a Survivor themed birthday party, which is so cunt and so fucking fun and cool that I'm so excited. So
So stoked.
yeah, after we wrap
And I got
up-
her a Squishmallow. So
Yeah, I was gonna. You're saying that, but by the time it's
this
like,
thing comes out in 2 weeks.
So yeah,
Media spotlight.
I have stuff to talk about.
All right, you go ahead, and then I'll think of something.
The first thing I want to talk about is a show that I've been watching with Mara. It's called.
Sorry, no, I'm laughing at something that came to my head.
Oh, the show we've been watching is called The Good Wife.
Okay, now I'm gonna laugh.
Do you know that show?
Yes.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm so late to the party.
I mean, I know it. I've never seen it,
It's
but I
so
know
good.
it.
It's so good. I've never been like one to be like super into. I like dramas in the sense that Criminal Minds is one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that's definitely kind of like a drama. But I never expected like. She would like have it on and I'd be in the living room and I'd just like watch like a few minutes of it and I was like, all right,
I'm hooked.
all right, this is sweet. This is, like, who's that? Like, who's that character? Oh, okay, like, okay, well, how is that going? Like, what's that plot going? Like,
Yeah.
oh, like, who's Eli?
I don't know what kind of crack they put in primetime dramas. But there is some sort of crack. Like, I definitely can attest to that.
Anytime Alicia Florrick says, objection, Your Honor, relevance. I'm like, so highly recommend the show. I didn't expect to like it when I first started watching it. It was just kind of like a, oh, sure, like,
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever.
Since it's on.
Yes, literally, since it's on, like, I guess I'll sit down. But then I started, like, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. And then I would, like, walk into the kitchen to get some water. I would stand.
Hooked.
I would stand for another hour because the episodes are, like, 45 minutes to an hour. And I would just, like, stand and watch because I was like, I need to know.
You were wrapped.
I literally was. I
That's
literally was.
so funny.
So, yeah, that was a
That's
great show.
I laughed because my media spotlight is usually just like what I've been listening to or that's what media spotlight is, what I've been listening to, what
Yeah.
we've been watching.
Yeah.
Well, if you must know, I've been listening to
Sure.
Hamilton again. Alexander Hamilton. It's so good.
all right.
It's really good, and I can't. And it's because, like, I listened to it when I was, like, walking and, like, doing one of the,
Okay.
like, more jogging walkings. And, like, it definitely, some of them, not every single one, but a lot of them are like, oh, this is, like, boppy enough. And there's, like, there's some oomph to it that it's, like, nice to walk to. But then I've just, like, kept just, like, putting it on. And, like, Lin-Manuel, you did it again. Like, Oh, and so another small thing that's, like, really funny and really wild is that I've also listened to, like, the Mabim Bam, My Brother and Me podcast. And I went all the way back. So, like, they've been doing that podcast since, like, 2013 or something. And so I've been listening to it for a little bit now. So I'm in 2015.
Okay.
They know, like, Lin-Manuel Miranda, like, went on their show. And they're, like... And then they're just talking about, like, oh, our buddy Lin-Manuel, go watch his show Hamilton, the new kid on
Just
the block.
came out. Haha.
And it's just such a, like, weird collision of worlds that it's like, oh, the McElroy brothers, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Would never expected there.
Did you know Lin-Manuel Miranda's a Nepo baby?
That tastes familiar on my tongue.
I guess his dad's like this like really powerful politician. in
Yeah,
New York or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
I did not know until I like, because my car, like I plug in my phone and listen to the radio, or I listen to my my Spotify or whatever. But when I unplug my phone, it is the default is set to like the news radio station.
Yeah.
So when I got home from wherever I was coming from, I unplugged my phone and then I just like happened to listen for like 20 seconds and it was like his dad being interviewed on like NPR or something, and I was like,
interesting.
oh
Yeah.
so there hasn't really been like an
Oh.
original fucking person that's like created something really cool. I mean, not to diss on Lin-Manuel because he's really talented as
but
fuck.
like just basically another reminder that you don't get to be that status without knowing somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
yeah, I'm not here to. I know that Lin-Manuel is not like all around the best person ever, and especially just with the context that like his dad is a politician.
Yeah.
But man can write some mean fucking songs. Anyway, that was a few tangents around of, I guess my media spotlight is Listen to Bim Bam. It's also a good podcast. I guess I don't know how they podcast nowadays. I'm listening to stuff from 2015.
Sure.
But also, yeah, give Hamilton another listen, or a listen if you haven't yet, because I say that as somebody that like I could give less than a fuck about America or patriotism or like anything, solely just like the music and the way that Lin-Manuel Miranda can like construct a song and construct a whole play, just solely songs, and tell a story. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And I believe you.
And I know that you haven't seen Hamilton, and I know that we need to watch it.
And we will. And we
I
will.
probably, like, saying that, I know I've talked about Hamilton at some point, so.
I think that was like one of our first episodes when we did our introductions. I think you talked about Hamilton, so.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I've been listening to.
Yeah.
And one other quick thing I'll say is I've been playing a lot more Sims lately.
Period.
And I've been watching a lot of, like, simming YouTubers. So I've been watching Sid Mac, who is a YouTuber that just, like, does builds and stuff on YouTube, which are, yeah, I like her. So,
Shout out Sid Mac.
Sid Mac.
Let's collab. I don't know what we'd collab about, but let's collab.
Make the stew in Sims.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. First main topic. We are going to be talking about the grocery store, better known as Winco. Do you know what Winco stands for?
Window company?
Not even close. Not even close. That's a really good attempt. No. Do you know what it stands for?
No, but I feel like if you say it, then I've like heard it before, but it's not in my brain.
I could be wrong, and this is just kind of like a wives' tale, I think. Washington, Idaho, Nevada, California, Oregon. The 5 states that it's located in, I think.
Like, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I also could be wrong.
Do they really not spread out anymore? Like, I knew that it was like semi-local.
I think it's a West Coast thing.
That's wild.
Yeah. Thank God. I don't want those East Coast bitches getting Winco. They don't deserve
Okay,
Winco.
watch your fucking mouth, because I wish we had an Aldi.
I do wish we
The
had
fact
an
that we
Aldi.
don't get any Aldis. Oh, maybe I've already talked about this. Maybe I have. We're getting a Cane's in Kaiser.
Oh, I think I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for real. We're getting
oh
a Cane's in
I
Kaiser
can't wait
Station.
to get another chicken place.
Okay, watch your fucking mouth.
I'm vehemently. I want to say vehement. Let me take this back a few steps. I don't want to get too heated here. Let me take it down a notch. I am not about Cane's. Like, it's not that good.
How about you fuck yourself? How about you take it and then fuck yourself over and over again, hard as you possibly can.
All right. I took it down a few notches, and I think that can.
And I took those notches.
You did.
And I stacked them on top of mine.
Well, you did. Mm-hmm.
Cane's is my favorite.
Can you quantify why? Like
Because it's just a chicken place, which if you were going to go into, the idea of chicken places, I won't even disagree with you of like the same restaurant, but you make that argument for anything. Any fast food place, it's the same thing in a different font. Any Mexican place, same food, different font. Any Indian place, same food, different font. That it's like, a chicken place that's the same food, different font. So if you're talking about the conglomerate of like, we don't need so many services here, then I could agree with you.
Okay, that argument is, I will say, you poke some holes in my argument, and I will agree that my argument isn't fully fledged and developed. But Cane's doesn't offer anything except chicken.
And chicken sandwiches. No, I get it. So that's what I'm saying is I can understand disdain feels like too dramatic, but like in the sense of like, not being a fan because it's literally chicken tenders on a bun and French fries. Like,
yeah,
that's valid.
The worst kind of French fries, by the way, the crinkle cut.
And that's just wrong. Crinkle cut's one of my favorite fries. They get so crispy.
Okay.
Like, but see, that's hard because like there's not a potato I don't like. There's not a potato in any form that I don't like.
If we're tier listing potatoes, it's hard to go below B.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, but I do love crinkle cut, and like, are you gonna look me in the eye and tell me that Highland Bowls crinkle cut fries while you're bowling aren't hitting the spot?
You got me. You got me.
So that's like, yeah. So all that to say is I fully respect like I don't really care in the sense of it's literally chicken tenders on a bun and fries. Also really good bread. Also they have really good bread.
Their bread is really good, I will say.
So, but that to say, it's just my favorite. Like chicken places are all just the same thing in a different font. I love that font.
And similar vein, Jollibee is coming to Hillsborough.
I've heard that.
I'm a vegetarian, but I'm throwing those fucking vegetables in the trash for some Jollibee because I need some fried chicken. I need to try everything on that menu.
See, I've never had that, and it was one of those that I've like seen it talked about, like I've seen TikToks about it. I did not realize that it was so popular. Like I did not realize people were like, I mean, I sound ignorant saying what I just did about Cane's, but like I just didn't realize that like people were stoked. But like even Taylor was like, "Oh, we're getting Jollibee." I was like, "Who?"
And if you were to ask me what Jollibee was pre-TikTok era, I would not have been able to tell you. But it is like it's like the most popular fast food restaurant in like the Philippines where it comes from.
Oh.
So, and I think they opened up a couple in California and then like some in Washington or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so through the power of social media, it just like kind of took over.
Valid.
And it's fried chicken, but it's also like other Filipino food. So there's like some like noodle dishes and then like rice and like gravy.
Lumpia. Is that the Filipino?
It is Filipino, but wow, oh my God, so culturally like into it and like just so you understand cultures, and you should do my degree, cultural anthropology. Wow.
And you should go to my job.
You remind me of Cameron Diaz when she's talking about how she grew up around my next door neighbor.
Shit.
Filipino.
I didn't say shit.
Lumpia, adobo. I ate it every day. So Winco, much to say about Winco, and I'm gonna try and I'm not gonna steamroll is not the right word because I want to hit all the points, but there is a way to condense it. First thing I'm gonna say is Winco holds such a dear place in my heart because it was like one of the only like 24-hour businesses that was like open and operating growing up. So it kind of served as like a third location.
Yeah.
You know, weirdly enough.
Between Sherry's and Winco, those were literally the only places you could go when the sun went down.
Oh my God. Rest in peace, Sherry's. I'm never gonna forget those pie shakes, man.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so Winco is so near and dear to my heart because great grocery store. It's cheap. It's the cheapest grocery store in the area, to my knowledge. I only shop there because it's cheap, pretty much. They have everything in bulk. that you could ever imagine. Snacks galore.
That's another thing of like culturally, not like, oh, I've always known that like Winco was like semi-local. Did not realize nobody had bulk, that wasn't like a thing that people had, and that you could just get like whatever kind of candy, whatever kind of noodles, like
I got a TikTok,
dry goods.
I got a TikTok on my For You page that was like, there's this like grocery store in Oregon that like there's like all of these bulk items, and like everyone's just like, you went to a Winco. Like it's like nothing new, like
a staple.
And in that moment I was like, yeah, I had that same realization of like, not everyone has this luxury of like. And the snacks, mama, they're so good. Give me 18,000 different kinds of trail mix.
No, make your own trail mix.
Make your own trail mix.
That's so genius.
Anytime I would go on like a flight or any kind of like road trip or like whatever I need to get trail mix for, brilliant.
Yes.
Like I can customize it. I can get 70% M&Ms.
You can make the ratio of whatever you want.
No raisins.
So good.
That's a dream for any 16-year-old kid. You're kidding me.
Trail mix that's half candy.
And I don't have to just buy a package of candy.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like bulk prices. Perfect. Yeah, you can buy, and the beautiful thing about bulk is you can get exactly what you need. You can, if you have like a recipe for whatever, like let's say you want to make a pasta dish, but you only have 2 people you're cooking for. Maybe you don't want to buy a whole fucking thing of pasta because you don't want to eat pasta for 5 days after, or you don't want to make pasta again.
Or like a specific kind of bean, like you're making a
Exactly.
soup and you're like, okay, I don't need just like a huge thing of beans. I'm making a small
I just
portion.
need a quarter of a cup
Yeah,
or whatever.
Exactly.
Just okay, awesome. That's gonna be.
And then you weigh it. You can also weigh it, so it's like you
Mhm.
can, yeah.
That's gonna be 29 cents. Great, amazing.
Exactly.
So I preface what I'm gonna say about Winco
with love.
With
we
love.
say it anything with love.
because I don't want this to come off. Well, I do have some hate in my heart when I say it because you'll understand why. Well, before I get into it, the reason that I have a lot of love in my heart for Winco is it truly felt like you can go to Winco because it's 24 hours. I've gone to Winco at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm up at that time, or I used to be just like, those were my like waking hours. Like I would just like I would work for DoorDash, so I'd like get off at like 3 a.m. and I'd be like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna just like walk around Winco and just like chill out.
Would you ever nap in the day when you did that? Or would you just like sleep in?
I would sleep until like 3 o'clock p.m.,
Oh,
4
I
o'clock,
see,
and then
I
just
see.
like, yeah, so my sleep schedule was so messed up. But yeah, all that's to say, it was very comforting for me to show up. Yeah, I just like, I liked existing at that time because no one else was there, and I just felt like it was a liminal space, right? Like it was kind of like
a huge warehouse store that's mostly empty.
Yeah.
Of humans.
Like I was definitely wandering around in someone else's dream.
Yes.
If that makes
like
any
that
sense.
episode of SpongeBob.
Exactly like that episode of SpongeBob. Exactly. So basically, in closing, before I move on to why I hate Winco now, hate it. Hope it burns to the fucking ground. It will always hold a special place in my heart, but they got rid of their hand baskets. And it's not the only store that has done that. Safeway got rid of their hand baskets too. What? I don't know why. Well, I know why. They got rid of them because people were stealing them. And Safeway at least has the decent common fucking courtesy to have those small.
Yeah, like the half-size cards.
Which,
I
like,
love those.
Sure, I'll take that. It's still a little bit too much. Because here's my problem. Here's my fucking problem with it, Winco. If I'm just shopping for myself and I just want to make like a nice little lunch or a nice little dinner, I just need 13, 14 items max. Maybe breakfast for the next day. Maybe a drink or something. You know what I mean? Maybe not a non-food item, like, because they have like, maybe I need some medication, whatever it is. I don't want to have to lug around a giant fucking cart
exactly,
just for a couple things. And this is where it gets, this is the two 1-2 punch of it all. The self-checkout only allows 10 items now.
That's not enough.
It's not enough, Winco. So when I'm going to self-checkout and your checker comes to me and wants to move me to the regular check stand because I have 13 items in my bag, what do we think about that, huh? I have to now stand behind a family of 8 with $300 worth of groceries, who's then standing in front of a family of 4
with $200 worth of
with
groceries.
$200 worth of groceries. I'm standing in line for 5 hours now. An entire shift. Someone's already clocked off. Like, what started out as, oh, I'm going to make dinner and then do my homework. Now I'm there.
The sun's down.
The sun is literally down. I'm not even exaggerating. Not even exaggerating. So let's just think twice when we make rash decisions like this, Winco.
Yeah. And I was going to say, we skipped over it a little bit. I really do like those small carts at Safeway.
I do too.
Because it is the best of both, where like the top cart is pretty small, where it's like, okay, it takes all the weight. I'm not having to carry. I'm not having to maneuver this cart that's like a fucking size of a vehicle, versus like, oh, it's essentially just like a basket sized cart that I'm just have to push around. So like that to say, Winco, you can redeem yourself. Just get those.
Get some of those.
That's just buy them. You can do that.
You're literally a multi-million, maybe billion-dollar corporation.
Very successful.
Buy
Very
some more
successful.
baskets.
Oh, and to tack on, so I live in not the same town, but we have a Wearmart.
Yes.
Which is basically just like Winco's little brother, where it's like all Winco brand stuff. It's like the same store, but it's just not as big, and like their bulk section is smaller and like that kind of thing. But it's the same exact thing. But it's not 24 hours.
I know it's not. It closes at like 10.
Yes, it like does not even stay open like very late. I mean, 10's not super early to close, but it's like, yeah. And I will say, vibes aren't the same. Vibes aren't the same, where it's like it really feels like going into somebody else's house that's trying to make their house look like your house.
That part, and here's how I would articulate it. You go into Winco, and it's like the come up on like a really good shroom trip.
Yeah.
When you go into Wearmart, it's like the walls are melting.
Yeah.
You start to hear things.
It's just not right. Like,
no,
it's
things
just
are
like
off.
it's just like pretending to be right.
You're
but
hearing
it's not.
voices. You're seeing people that have never existed before. You know, you're seeing holes in your face.
Yes.
That's what Wearmart is.
I hate how it's set up too, where it's like I can go into not any, because I definitely have been in Wincos where I'm like, whoa, this is definitely not normal. But like I've been to multiple Wincos, same exact layout. They know what it is. Where it's like you first walk in, and that one will always have different stuff. They like move it, but the aisles and the way the aisles are, like what I can find in each aisle, or where the produce section is, or where the deli section is, those are always set up in the same way. Not always, but like usually in more than one Winco I've been to, it's like set up in the same way.
There's a rhyme and a rhythm.
Whereas Wearmart, it just feels like you just threw that shit in there.
There some 5-year-old's like executive son just like sketched out the blueprints of Wearmart and was like, here you go.
Exactly.
And just like told them to build it.
And it was supposed to go on the fridge, but it actually went into the report to build the building. So
my favorite Winco is the Albany Winco.
That's a good one. That's
my
a good
favorite
one.
So far. It's so big.
It's so big.
There's so much. It reminds me of a Walmart.
Yes, exactly. No, I enjoy that one. Yeah, I would just go and like walk to that place.
Yeah.
Like it was that, and that's the dream. It was just a dream. But yeah, just that to say, Winco and Wearmart, not the same. They're trying to tell you it's the same. It is not the same.
They may be owned by the same company.
But it's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
No, it literally is. It literally is. So that's my beef with Winco, and I hope there's an executive somewhere that sees this and sees my passion.
At Winco, tag them. Tag Winco below.
Tag Winco, tag Winco, tag Winco, tag Winco, because I'm sick and tired of being fucking played like a fucking fiddle. Truly. I am not just a customer. I am a loyal supporter of your business. This is a business. and you're about to lose a customer.
We need a break in the sense of this is something I'm going to put in for the media because I completely forgot.
Oh, right.
I watched Sinners. Have you seen anything about Sinners?
No, what's that?
Really? You're online ass.
Wait, I think maybe it sounds.
Y'all brothers? Nah, cousins. Wow.
This is coworker stuff.
You're racist. I'm so shocked. Sinners is a movie that came out like again 2 weekends ago.
Okay.
With Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
And Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
But it's basically Jim Crow era vampires.
I have to see it.
It's
now.
so
Sold.
good.
Sold. Already, my tickets are already in the
And
Fandango.
it's so
cart.
good because it's just one of those where it's like not your typical vampire movie in the sense of the vampires are obviously the antagonists.
Yeah.
But it's in fucking Jim Crow America, Mississippi, I think. And so it's like at one point, no spoilers, but just like, I mean, this is kind of spoilery, but like at one point in a vampire fashion, you like can't walk in somewhere without being invited. So they're like kind of having this debate where like some people are inside and they're outside, like trying to convince them. And like the vampire's not wrong. Like he's talking about like, don't you want to be in power? Don't you want to be able to like take control of your life? And then you're like, that would be hard to say no when you're a black person in fucking Jim Crow era.
Right.
Like, so you're just like, oh, it's like not just ooh blah spooky, but like it's kind of like that, and there's like some eerie elements, but it's also like you couldn't and wouldn't blame them if they did choose that. Like if they are like, maybe.
See, this is you would always think that the vampire trope is so like tired and cheesy, but like in anything that it's in, it's actually kind of good. It's actually like it kind of works.
So good. And yeah, also just this fun, quirky, creative choice to have Michael B. Jordan play Michael B. Jordan's twin brother. Like
that is so meta.
It's just like that's something that would happen in the early 2000s in a horror movie where it's like, and so that's the thing. I'm sure there's think pieces. Maybe I'm just like illiterate, and maybe there is like a meaningful reason that they did that. But it really just like watching it was like that just feels like a fun, quirky like element of like, no, we don't need to find two actors that look alike. We'll just have them do both the parts.
Right. That is. It's so Freaky Friday.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. Very good, and you should. That's like a legitimate media of like you should go watch that. So
okay, noted. But to preface, Pokemon. I'm just gonna read what I have. Pokemon is my favorite game franchise of all time. It just is. I don't have any. It just is such a nostalgic thing for me. It's the most successful media franchise of all time. The Pokemon Company International was established through a joint investment of 3 companies: Nintendo, Creatures Inc., and Game Freak. And Game Freak is like the developer, basically. So like the creators of the game. I know, right?
Game Freak.
And if you go into like the
freak on that game
of the lore, some of the like leaks that came out of like the name is justified, I should say. Some of them are like actual fucking freaky and like you need to go to therapy, and like that's kind of weird. Like,
Stop it. Get some help.
Maybe we'll do an episode where I go dive into the leak.
I love that.
Yeah. Pokemon was first released in Japan in 1996. Also, it's Pokemon, not Pokemon. Let's just set the record straight, please.
How do you feel about me? How do you feel about the fact that I exclusively call them Pokemans?
You're doing that as a bit and satirically, so I'll let it slide. But people
Pokemans is just so much more fun to say than Pokemon.
And that's okay. I'll let that go. But people who just say Pokemon.
I know what you are.
You're a fucking disgrace, and I hope your family disowns you. So, it was first released in 1996 in Japan, but in the United States it was released in 1998. Pokemon cards were
Good year.
pretty big. Were pretty big in the early 2000s after Pokemania, which is basically like the explosion of Pokemon onto the scene. So like that's when like everyone started playing and getting involved with it. Pokemon sales from January to September in 1999 surpassed $500 million in the U.S., while the trading card game took up 310 million of that.
Jesus Christ.
So getting trading cards. Demand was so crazy that U.S. Card game printers could barely keep up with demand. Even back then, certain packs at stores were seeing their prices go up because of the change in supply and demand. So scalping wasn't really a thing, but people were upcharging like crazy.
Yeah.
Just to keep up with how crazy it was going.
That's crazy.
So the supply demand issue is nothing new for Pokemon. It also started to get really bad after Pokemon Go came out in 2016. Loved that game. I played religiously. I should play again now that I'm saying that out loud.
That'd be so good for your walks too.
It would be. I played a little bit on my walks not too long ago, but I haven't dived in.
Ooh, that reminds me. I should also start playing. I used to play Pikmin, the Pikmin game.
Play with me.
Oh yeah.
Because it's multiplayer. That was like my walking game
Yeah.
of choice was Pikmin Bloom.
I played it for like 3 months during COVID.
I love Pikmin Bloom. Oh my
So
god.
good.
Pokemon and Pokemania kind of died off after the early to mid 2000s.
Pokemans, yeah.
Just the horror violins just like went off in my brain. It was still popular, but not nearly as much as it was before. But after Pokemon Go came out, this saw a huge resurgence in the popularity of the franchise. I don't know if you guys were there, but I was. Ground Zero. I was playing till like 5 o'clock in the morning, just like wandering the streets of Corvallis, just like playing, catching random fucking Pokemon. Like it was a time. Like there was nothing like it. That was the last time our country was unified. Like
That's crazy.
old players. So yeah, once Pokemon Go came out, the card game also saw a huge resurgence because old players like myself, I stopped playing around the end of Gen 4, which was like 2010. So I stopped playing. My last game that I like played was Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, like that generation. And I didn't play any of the Gen 5 games. But old players like myself started to come back. And many new players started to join once Pokemon Go came out. And I even said in my notes, this is the last time the country was truly united. It really was. This is, just for reference, this is my favorite Pokemon. This is Mew. And you'll see Mew here every now and again.
Do you know what my favorite Pokemon is? Have we talked about this?
I don't know if you've ever told me.
Just random shot in the dark. Take a guess.
Butterfree.
Nope.
My
Piplup.
Piplup? Oh, you are such a Piplup girl. Oh my
Love
god.
Piplup. I love him.
This led to a large uptick in the search for Pokemon cards nationwide. All of this would change when the pandemic hit. Because if you think about it, everyone's trapped in their home, in their attics, going through their old shit, looking at Pokemon cards that they had when they were kids, being like, I need to start doing this again.
Mm-hmm.
This was such a fun hobby that I had when I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start going to the stores and rushing Costco shelves and Walmart shelves and Target shelves. And so a lot of people joined the hobby again, and this is when scalping started to really get bad. And this is when my notes kind of stopped. I stopped taking my notes because it was hard to find like scalping data, like hard numbers. But we can infer that when the pandemic hit and people were like, I have nothing better to do, let me just like buy up a bunch of fucking Pokemon cards, because why the hell not? I'm just gonna keep them.
It was the time and era of hoarding everything.
It was very much like, I'm just gonna keep these to myself. Ooh, I can make a quick buck on them now that I have like I have what you want. Okay, now I'm gonna upcharge you.
Give me $1,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that kind of started the snowball effect, which we still see today. And if you're a Pokemon card scalper, I see so many on TikTok. Not so much anymore. I will say, I think there's been like some kind of like policy that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have like implemented to where that's kind of not been the case, and they've like printed a lot more. But there's like Pokemon card vending machines at like, there's one at Winco, actually, speaking of, and then there's one at Safeway. And I've tried to go, and I've gotten a few packs there, but they're all sold out. And I've seen videos of people like going to these vending machines, buying out the entire people, 40-year-old men, 40-year-old straight fucking men who look exactly like how you think they look, with a fucking like flat bill sports hat, 5'5" or below, round as a ball, just bottom of the barrel human beings, not correlating bottom of the barrel with physical appearance.
Yeah.
But that correlation sometimes happens when you're a Pokemon scalper.
Yeah.
So
I have a funny Reddit thing that I read off of Reddit a while ago, but I was not even invested in the community, just in I like when people get comeuppance. It was very satisfying, basically. And I can't remember what form. It was just like in a very general, like, ask Reddit or something like that. Like, not even like a Pokemon thing. It wasn't in a Pokemon subreddit. It was somebody being like, I bought so many Pokemon cards because I thought that I was going to be able to resell them, but then Pokemon printed a lot more of the same pack when they said they weren't gonna. They said they weren't gonna print anymore, so that's why I tried to buy all of them so I could resell them and make some money. I wasn't trying to overcharge. I just wanted to make some money, but now I have thousands of cards that are being sold for like $2 right now. And everyone was like, yeah, cool, go fuck yourself.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
You want to make
But, like,
money?
The tone of the thing was very much like, I'm the victim here, where you're just like, so you were trying to scam people.
No, literally.
The company you were trying to use to scam people made sure that you couldn't scam people, and now you're coming to the internet being like, what can I do? My wife is so mad.
She's going to divorce you. Sorry.
And like
Oops.
I said, not even in the community, but I was like, this is so satisfying. Like,
And
this is so
I've
good.
also seen people at these vending machines that I'm talking about being like, the store staff is like trespassing them because they're just like loitering around, like waiting for them to be like restocked. And they're like, you gotta go. And they're like, no, I'm waiting. Like, I'm a paying customer. Like, I'm here, blah, 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 blah. And then the guy's like, he's not leaving. Like, call the cops.
That is so good.
It's just so satisfying.
That's so cathartic.
It really
where it's
is.
like life is a mess, but getting to see one of those moments almost makes it worth it.
Because these people will stand and buy out these vending machines in front of literal kids who just want to like take a part, like be a part of this hobby that's intended for these kids and fans of this franchise.
That is so awful.
So it's just like, yeah, if you're somehow like, and I see a lot of content on TikTok of like people who like buy a lot of Pokemon cards who are like who are essentially scalpers, but are like, I sell at reasonable market resale value prices, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, you're a fucking scalper. And the comments on their videos are like, thank you for being reasonable about it. And like, no,
They have no need or reason to do that unless they're trying to make money from
they're
you.
exactly,
Like,
they're literally hoarding.
they're not going to go buy them for a certain amount of money and then sell it to you for the same amount of money.
They're
Like,
exactly. That's a stupid business decision that they know they wouldn't make.
exactly. So
So-
even if it's reasonable and they're only upcharging you like say $2, say 50 cents, that's still upcharging you, and that's not a moral way to make money.
I went to our local game store here in town, and one of the like booster packs, it has like 6 packs of cards in them. It's usually supposed to be like $20 or $30. These motherfuckers tried charging me $80. And I was like, oh no.
Poof.
So I paid $20 for 2 singular packs of 10 cards, which I'm the fucking fool for doing that. God forbid I support local business.
No,
God forbid.
literally. Like,
So
that's so stupid. And like, Yeah, not like it's like a unique thing to Pokemon, but like just a good example of something that you're passionate about in a community you're involved in, where like it feels like everything is getting ruined by greed and capitalism. Like,
no, actually,
not that capitalism is a new concept, or not that plenty of things haven't been ruined by capitalism in the past, but like
this brand of capitalism that we're finding ourselves in
that is just like you cannot escape it no matter what.
Yeah.
So
womp
womp. I think if you scalp anything, you deserve to die. I think if you scalp literally anything and buy something with the sole intent to sell it for more than you bought it for, I think you are a vile human being.
In Japan, they literally make you open the packs and like boxes that you buy in the store to prevent
so
this.
Good.
Right?
That's so good. Because then it's like, with it, even if you're going to resell them, they're immediately worth less.
Exactly.
So that's such a smart way to do it.
Yep. And Costco, thank God, put like
America.
a limit on it, so like you can only buy 2 whatever of like they're called elite trainer boxes. So they have like the cards. They have also like other things in them too. You can only buy 2 of them at a time. Before, you could just like load up your entire fucking cart, and people were like actually spending like thousands of dollars at once at Costco. Which,
how much is that box?
I think retail is like $40 or $50.
And that's just so you're saying it comes with like a bunch of packs and
Yeah,
stuff?
I think it comes with like 10 packs and then like some like status condition coins.
That's just so much more work. Like, that's even if it's like novelty and like more than
Right.
what if you're just like buying a bunch of but like
Yeah.
Costco knows what it's doing, and you're ruining it. Like, thank God Costco stepped in and was like,
Yeah.
stop. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do that anymore.
Yeah. So anyway,
As we get into our outro, this is something I meant to add in our intro. Look at my nails.
nails are on.
I did it myself.
They're so cute.
And I'm pretty proud of them. They're
Those are
opposite on this
so
one.
cute.
So, yeah. I just wanted to show them off, and I didn't get a chance to. You've been looking at them the whole episode, but, like, now you can notice them if you didn't.
Did you see my nails too?
I loved yours. I love the stickers.
Right?
And the glitter. Did you do those?
I did.
So classy.
Yeah. Very spring vibes. Yeah. Anyway.
So good. So good. Yeah. Closing question.
Which of your personality traits has been the most useful?
And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know I said it was my humor. That me being able to laugh.
Do you want to?
I don't have my glasses
first,
on
then.
either. My most useful trait would definitely be my humor. It can lean into self-defense mechanism territory, but I feel like without being able to laugh at the shit I've been through in the past, or not being able to find jokes in shitty situations, I would have died a long time ago. So,
Period.
very useful to me personally.
I like your humor. I like your humor a lot.
I do too, to some degree, but I also have realized the older that I've gotten, I never thought I'd be like a dry humor person.
Yeah.
But I have found myself being like, not all the time, but like, I'm just like, oh, my sense of humor is different than when I was a child. But
It can be very dry.
it's gotten seasoned.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Like a dry rub.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. So,
Love that. And I would concur. I would say I don't know if this is a personality trait rather than just a facet of my existence. The most useful personality trait or trait of mine is my resilience, I think. I've been through a lot of shit. And, yeah, I think just mentally and physically, I have bounced back from a lot. And without
your resilience and your ability to adapt too. So like that coupled together is very true, where like you are able to adapt to new scenarios and like new ways of being.
and also I think I'm good at like keeping a level head
Mm-hmm.
and like keeping at least I try to be like as positive outlook as possible too. So yeah, I would say definitely the resilience. I also like my sense of humor too. I think that all is coupled together with resilience because that helps me be resilient.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't believe in this is so fucking corny, but if I don't believe that there's going to be a tomorrow, then there's nothing to be resilient for.
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so helping myself to believe it tomorrow, I can like it helps to like have a sense of humor, be funny. It helps to have a positive outlook and see the glasses half full sometimes. So yeah, I would say that's probably
Yeah, I don't know. I was just
mine.
talking to Taylor about the idea of like, yeah, a little different, but like I think you can relate in the sense of obviously there's plenty of pros to going through life from a young age to now being in full adulthood.
yeah.
There are pros to not having trauma. There are pros like so I just want to preface that to say I'm not trying to act like it's superior or better to go through trauma,
Right.
but it sets you up as an adult
Mm-hmm.
to know have a better reflex when you have to react to traumatic things or things that are rocking you or things that are just even upsetting, like even if it's not some traumatic world rocking thing, but
Yeah.
things that like you don't like or that upset you. It's like you are more
You're primed.
exactly, there you go. You're primed to be able to know how to react and know what's good for you to react, even if that's like, oh, like not saying it's healthy, but if even you're like, oh, I know I need to isolate in this scenario, it's like you can do that.
Yeah.
Versus somebody that's like never had anything happen and they start to get into an adult where just like real shit happens constantly on a big spectrum of like, oh, tiny shit where like work sucks or interpersonal
Yeah.
relationships suck too. The older you get, the more life you experience and the more trauma is likely to happen.
Yeah.
That like you're set up for that. So I definitely feel like going back to what you said, that I've like always been mentally ill. So now being an adult, it's just so much easier to be like, okay, I know that I'm mentally ill and I'm still here. Like me feeling a certain way, me thinking a certain way, I can think those things as long as I'm checking in with myself of like, okay, you're okay though.
Yeah.
Like everything's fine and you can feel these feelings, but it's not going to be the end of the world.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, I agree 1,000%. That's a good way of putting it.
so yeah. And moving on to our manifestation, so.
We have the same manifestation.
And what was it? I wrote it down and then I don't have my computer, so Cap's looking at it and I can't see it.
You said I want to eat Hawaiian food.
Oh, yes. And I still haven't. I want to eat Hawaiian food so bad. And I was going to originally, but then I was going to originally get it on my way
Yeah.
here, but then Cap came and picked me up, so I haven't gotten it. And
Bro, it always sounds good, but like I need some mac salad. I need
some shoyu chicken.
Yeah, I need I'm vegetarian, so like the classic Hawaiian food us white people think of is like shoyu chicken, like spare ribs, that's not like, I'm sure that's not what a lot of like local Hawaiians eat, but
also just not to cut you off, but in where we've lived and where we're from, slim pickings
it is
for Hawaiian food
truly.
as an option. So it's like
Truly.
there is like literally one here,
Yeah.
one food cart in Albany that will move sometimes.
No, literally.
And there's like 2 or 3 in Salem, but there's like the same chain.
Yeah.
Like it's essentially one, but it's like in
Yeah.
different locations. So
if there was some vegan Hawaiian food or like vegetarian Hawaiian food, like sign me the fuck up, because
there's a place. So this came about because we were playing Baldur's Gate with Taylor's sibling, and their mom had the audacity while we're like on the phone is being like, okay, we're gonna pick up Roxy's, which is like a Hawaiian grill place that's so good and has like vegan vegetarian options. It's so good. And me and Taylor are literally just like, okay, like you're gonna send some over here. Like,
oh my god.
yeah, Meg was saying that there's like a Hawaiian, basically like grilled cheese where it has like, I can't remember what was on it, but it's like vegan. They're also, I can't remember, they're either vegan or vegetarian too. So yeah,
I can't hold it.
road trip up to Portland.
I'm so down. I'm so down. Like it sounds so good.
Let's do it.
So yeah, those are our manifestations.
So good.
Shout out. It just says womp womp. So
because nobody answers the questions.
no one answers our questions, and I post on my story, and in hopes that someone is going to see it. Everyone sees it. People like my story and like, ha, like thanks for posting.
Where are you?
Y'all are fake as
Where are
fuck.
you?
Like, wow, I can't believe that. I actually can't believe
So yeah, we don't have any shout out to make from people answering the question.
that. The one shout out I will say, I shouted out at the beginning, but again, happy birthday, Spencer.
Happy birthday, Spencer.
That's
Yeah.
a shout out.
Yeah, she'll get our shout out today because it's her birthday and we're about
Yeah.
to go to her party. Like, we're literally going to stop recording and then go to her party.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, she'll get our shout out today.
Yeah. Perfect.
And like and subscribe.
Like
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Please.
Please.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's all. We did pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So
Thanks for tuning in, Yarders.
thanks, Yaplins.
Yaplins. All right. We love
And mwah.
you. Mwah.